It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. We are waking up to fresh snowfall in the Ozarks on this Friday. It is January 9th. Yes, our second snow of just the week. January, pretty off to a brutal start, isn't it? We have temperatures that are well below the freezing point, snow showers on the radar still, and we are going to hold on to this winter weather advisory and winter storm warning through 6 p.m. today. Now, I think the snow showers end before that, but this does mean that travel this morning, it's tricky in spots, especially in places in the northern Ozarks where the snowfall didn't quite melt off from the first round of winter weather over the early part of the week. Now we're putting more on top of that, and many in the Ozarks are waking up to some seriously measurable snow, 5 to 7 inches in northern Arkansas, 2 to 4 across much of the Missouri Ozarks, lighter amounts north of Highway 60, but still measurable and enough to cause some issues for us early this morning. That's what we're seeing on the radar. A messy morning commute. If you haven't ventured out yet, and you absolutely have to, pack your patience and all the layers. Drive slow too. Take it slow. This all fell as snowfall across the Ozarks, but there are definitely slick spots out there. Places that just haven't been able to be cleared yet because an overnight event, it's hard to clean things up for the morning drive. So things could be kind of messy out there this morning. Big heads up to you. I know the school cancellation list has been growing all morning. So make sure you check that before you head out the door this morning. Snow showers will come to an end today. And it's not just us here in the Ozarks waking up to some fresh powder. It is folks all the way from Texas back through Oklahoma, Arkansas, kind of the bullseye of this. Central Arkansas seeing sizable snowfall amounts, 7, 8, even 9-inch snowfall reports for portions of Central Arkansas. And these snow showers are going to be moving on to the east today, back into portions of the Tennessee Valley, into portions of northern Alabama, northern Georgia. And it's just a mess all the way to the Carolinas. That's where we're expecting this snowfall event to take place. Today, for us, it's cold, it's windy, high temperature of 32 degrees, and I expect that we hold on to the snow showers as we head through much of the weekend because temperatures just stay pretty darn cold. I have below normal numbers for us for the weekend. This is going to allow the snow to stick around. It won't melt too much. Of course, road conditions will improve as soon as the snow showers end and we get the plows out. However, it's just going to be kind of a winter-like weekend in the Ozarks. So if you have commutes going on, side roads, not main streets in the neighborhood, I think they're going to be dicey through most of the weekend. A winter storm warning remains for our counties along and south of Highway 60. That includes the Springfield area through 6 p.m. Winter weather advisory up north going into central Missouri north of Highway 60, where snowfall amounts a little bit lighter overnight. As I mentioned, still measurable, 1 to 3 inches of snowfall for the northern Ozarks, more like 2 to 5 for the southern Ozarks. And as I mentioned, there are isolated spots, especially higher elevations of the Boston Mountains, that got little bursts of snow with even higher totals. Below normal temperatures, though, that's going to allow the snow to stick with us for quite some time. So make sure you do a good job shoveling the first time. Those piles will stick around for a little while. We have very low precipitation chances in the forecast then as we head into Saturday, Sunday, and the early part of next week. So at least that's good news. We will have a stretch of dry days here once the impacts start to wear off. Moderate impacts along and south of Highway 60 where the snowfall is a little bit higher. Major impacts down for places like Mountain Home back into portions of central Arkansas. If you have to travel today, you're heading to Little Rock, you're going to Tulsa, keep in mind there are some major road problems happening there. Whereas if you're heading to St. Louis or Kansas City, it's more of a minor inconvenience with the snowfall that's on the roadways. I do have tricky travel in the forecast for much of the South. That's going to be the case through much of the weekend. These places, Texas, Oklahoma, portions of southern Arkansas, they hardly ever get snow. So the events for them are a really big deal. And of course, the cities aren't quite as equipped as many of us are to handle some of the snowfall. So if you have plans over the weekend or you have friends or family in the South, be prepared to hear about their snow woes. Fire danger also remains high today for portions of Southern California and those devastating wildfires happening out there. They continue to see low relative humidity as well as high winds today, which is a bad combination for some of the wildfires that are still burning. We know that the firefighters and the crews, first responders out there need a break from the weather. They need some relief, and that won't be felt until the weekend when the winds calm down. Winter storm impacts are going to be moving through Texas, and I mentioned the Carolinas. I expect that air travel is going to be really dicey as we head through the weekend forecast too. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Last one of the week. This one is kind of appropriately named for this week. This could be about the Ozarks, A Winter's Tale. Who wrote the play A Winter's Tale? Do you think that was A, Ernest Hemingway, B, William Shakespeare, C, Oscar Wilde, or D, Arthur Miller? I have not seen this play or read this play, but the answer is B, William Shakespeare. This is also a poem by a different author, but the play, A Winter's Tale, was indeed written by William Shakespeare himself. It was originally published in 1623, and it was grouped with a bunch of comedies. Many modern editors, however, have actually said this is not a comedy. This is a tragedy because it has elements of both. Not one that I'm familiar with, but maybe I should look that up. A Winter's Tale is by B, William Shakespeare. Congrats if that was your guess. All right, here's the question that I'll leave you with for Monday morning. On average, how much snow does Springfield get in the month of January? I'm looking for the climatology numbers here. What's typical for the month of January in Springfield, Missouri? Do you think it is A, 1.3 inches, B, 3 inches, C, 4.4 inches, or D, 5.6 inches of snow? You can let me know your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather this week. We've had a fun and active winter weather week here in the Ozarks, and I appreciate you starting your day here. Thanks so much to our sponsors, also Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. I'll be back with you Monday morning for another check of the weather and hopefully a more quiet week ahead for us next week. Have a great weekend. We'll chat then.